You're live.
All right, we are live. So, that being said, attention in the building. The show is about to begin. I am Mychal Guzman. You're witnessing history. This is Fantastic Tangent Season Toups, Episode 3. Applause. All right, we've got a lot of strangers in here, a lot of new faces, have no idea what the fuck is about to happen right now. I do a show here every week. We have a few long-running things that happen, so I have to get you up to speed. We had a segment known as Solutions, wherein we offered advice to people for the problems that they were going through. We kind of overstepped our bounds, and Solutions became us not only offering advice, but offering to take care of the problems ourselves. So, for our first solution that we're still working on, we had a young man by the name of Andrew, seen here. Now, Andrew's problem was he worked a seasonal job, and his bosses failed to pay him after this job was done. So our solution was that we were going to track down this employer, and we were going to find ways to get this man his money, and if not, we were going to make sure that there was some sort of recompense in some capacity. So we tracked the guy's boss down. He happened to be the only Asian man with a handlebar mustache in Austin. And we began a series of social engineering exercises to find out about his background, dig into his life, his family, find out where we could hit him where it hurts, or otherwise extort the money that was properly owed to this young man by the name of Andrew. We have been working diligently on that. Unfortunately, some very tragic news. Andrew has died. He was a very big fan of history. He went into the Italian catacombs. He heard that there were some sort of books hidden in there, and there was an unfortunate collapse. It was a huge accident. I don't know if you heard about it on the news. And yeah, he has perished. So this episode, the theme of it is tragedies, because it is truly a tragedy that we lost this young man. Coming to the stage now is my co-host, improv genius Anthony Toups, who will be sharing a personal anecdote because he knew the man Andrew. Coming to the stage, everybody, please, a big hand, make some noise for Anthony Toups. So, Anthony Toups truly in real life knew this man Andrew, and he is going to speak off the top of his head, and he has a few words prepared about the man. So I encourage you to listen as he speaks upon the loss of this tragic Andrew. Go ahead.
I'm glad that you mentioned that he loved history, because now he's a part of it. I think you would have enjoyed that.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got a little bit of stuff here written out, just some thoughts on my friend here. Yes, Andrew. I knew the man. It came as some surprise to me when I did not recognize him immediately when we took on the task of providing him with one of our solutions. I could easily excuse this due to his clever disguise, but I must not, for it would be a disservice to him. If I could not have recognized him by sight, I should have caught him by scent. I can't talk today. I'm sorry, the grief is getting to me.
It's okay, man. Work through it. I know it's hard.
I should have caught him by scent. Indeed, he was the one who trained me to heighten my olfactory prowess. Indulge me, dear audience, as I expound upon our previous history. At the age of 24, after many adventures and displays of daring don't that may or may not have been discussed later on this show, I was approached by a clandestine hunting party. They claimed the impossible, that there existed a secret, illicit group of despots, tycoons, and other avaricious souls that assembled annually to feast upon the rarest of creatures. This group, dubbed the Wealthy Immoral Tasting Society, or the Twats as we use for short, had a dilemma. After several decades, they had run the gamut of exotic and taboo dining options, and now found themselves bored. Human flesh had already long ago been bypassed as uninspired, but was also now gone for the thrill of biting into the slow-cooked ribs of baby ocelots. Dull was the taste of snow lion, loin, marinated in wallaby blood. Sugar glider nuggets, simply passé. They endeavored to rejuvenate their menu, and they did. And what I tell you next may be beyond belief, but it is the truth. The Twats feasted annually on creatures that mankind now refers to as mythical, and I, along with that hunting party Andrew was included in, were the ones that provided these spoils. Now Andrew, while quite rakish and highly intellectual, was far from being a proper hunter. He could not shoot, he could not field dress a kill, and he could not hold a tune for the life of him. But what he could do exponentially better than any other human on the planet was smell. His nose could detect the wind before you even realized you were going to fart. He could smell the tears of a beetle, the armpits of the meerkat, and more from hundreds of yards away. We tried to convert these yards to feet, but Andrew said the word feet grieved him because it caused him to recall the overwhelming stench of humans that had trained themselves to suppress. But yes, on a cold day with enough wind, the man could even catch a whiff of you lying. Our party put on these skills to use, ensnaring the once unthinkable monsters. All manner of supposedly fictional basilisks, hydras, golems, orcs, chupacabras, mermaids, wendigos, gorgons, wyverns, clitoris. We captured them all. Our hunting party disbanded amicably after reaching the goal of dispatching an elusive unicorn.
Hold on. Let's say I go ahead and accept this outlandish claim. Alright? Leaves me with one question. Who got to keep the unicorn's horn?
Okay, so that's a fair question, coming from a layman ignorant of the subject of unicorn anatomy.
Okay.
No one wanted the horn for it was highly irradiated and toxic. You see, unicorn sightings aren't rare because, contrary to belief, unicorns aren't as rare as generally assumed. It's just that if you're close enough to see one, you're bound to die a horrible and painful death due to the poisoning.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, the manner of Andrew's death comes as no surprise to me. He died doing what he loved. May he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace. Moment of silence for Andrew, everybody. Gone too soon. Now that we have that sad business out of the way, we need to move on into the portion of the show where we make our fucking money. Let's talk about tonight's sponsor. Fantastic Tangent tonight is brought to you by Fake Farm. And we will be reading the ad copy that they have given us in return for the money they're going to be giving us for advertising with them. So, Fake Farm ad copy. Tax season is upon us. How much did you get back from that juicy refund? What's that? You haven't filed yet? Well, well, why the fuck not? Ah, you can't afford insurance and you're worried about that pesky Obamacare penalty. Well, guess what? Your broke ass just may be in luck.
Okay, so let's imagine this. The worst has happened. You've died. And now your family's going through all kinds of forms and making calls and trying to get a hold of an insurance agent in order to get some answers. How much coverage will they get? When will they get it? What a mess.
Well, with Fake Farm, that won't be a problem. Your family will be guaranteed to be covered under a cloud of grief. Because with Fake Farm, everything is crystal clear. They won't be getting any help from you whatsoever. They won't be getting any help whatsoever from us. No need to fret over the details because there won't be any.
Fake Farm is the company that specializes in providing insurance coverage that has no benefit other than ensuring that you meet the basic requirements necessary to claim that you have insurance in order to file your taxes. You may not get the health benefits from us later, but you won't be hit for not having benefits now. How great's that?
Visit Fake Farm and remember, we're not your neighbor. Fake Farm don't care.
Ad copy.
Ad copy. Moving along on this tragic edition of Fantastic Tangent, a recurring segment that is known as Who This Is. So, the New York Public Library has given access to over 100,000 stock photos, free for use for anybody. You just gotta go there and grab them. So, courtesy of them, we have some photos here and we need to identify who this is. So, Toups, first photo. I ask you, who this is?
That's Greta. She's 27.
Uh-huh. She, huh? Okay.
Yeah, you can't see that?
Okay, no, I'm not. Okay, she's 27.
Yep. She has what is commonly classified as an elephant gun. And given that this is the tragic edition of Fantastic Tangent, I'd like to go into a little bit why she has the elephant gun.
Okay.
Just previous to this drawing being made, her entire family was mauled by a horde of marauding elephants. They just came into their camp and stomped them all to death.
Just stomped them.
And you would think that would be tragic. So, and she did too.
Rightfully so.
So she immediately went out and got this elephant gun to enact revenge. Unfortunately...
how did she get the money to buy an elephant gun?
Like, there was a lot of just materials lying around that no one was going to use after this.
Since they were all stomped to death.
Right.
Okay, understood.
So, that would be tragic by itself, but...
it gets worse.
It gets worse, yeah.
Okay.
In fact. Well, she found the horde of elephants that had stomped her family. And she loaded up the gun with all the black powder that was necessary. You see the horn there.
Black powder matters. Hashtag.
The only problem is that, like, she couldn't actually pick the front end of the gun up because it's too long. Like, you can see that she's balancing it right now over her shoulder. And that's okay, but, like, trying to aim the thing proved impossible.
So she was not familiar at all with simply lying down in the prone position and firing like a sniper. Easily could have fired that way. She just didn't figure it out.
She was in a rage of grief, okay?
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Fair enough, fair enough.
So, I'm just, well, unlike our friend Andrew, may he rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
She did not have any hunting qualities that would have made her, aware of the danger of her proximity to that said horde of elephants. And so they discovered her, and well, I think you can imagine what happened next.
Well, I've known elephants to be fairly peaceful, placid animals, so it surprises me that they just for some reason decided they wanted to just stomp out a village of people. Like, why? What could you do to elephants? Like, why were they so mad?
Well, Greta's family was in the ivory trade.
As noted by the tusk that she's clearly holding there.
Yeah, that was a hollowed out tusk from the elephants.
So this was a tragedy that they brought upon themselves.
It's a tragedy in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's a tragedy that we must move on to the next person. So, Toups, I ask you, who this is? Who is this white man?
Oh, he's white? Okay.
Yes.
Well, he's obviously a man of... he's standing.
He's a standing man. That's very tragic. Okay.
But not for very long after this photo.
Oh no, what happened?
So...
what's his name, by the way?
No, I'm about to get to that.
Okay, we're getting to it.
Yep. So, this gentleman over here is Hansel.
Hansel?
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks fairly Danish.
He's so hot right now. Hansel.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
The problem is that just before this artistic photo was taken, and this is actually related to that.
Okay.
When that movie was released, basically all of his friends told him that he had to watch it. And this is a speech he gave just right before going into the theater.
Uh-huh. What movie are we talking about?
The Zoolander.
Oh, okay. So this man, clearly pictured in the 1950s or 60s.
It's called Instagram filters.
Okay, yes, that's right. You established that before. Sorry. I keep forgetting about the filters. All right.
They're popular.
So he was going to see Zoolander.
And so he gave a speech right before it that said that if they use my name in vain, I'm going to do something about it.
And what did he do?
Well, he actually had a heart attack.
That's a very, very passive-aggressive way to deal with the situation.
Like, he wasn't a very outspoken man in general. So it's just when
I'll show them.
He says, I'm gonna do something about it. He did something about it.
He did something to himself about it.
Yep.
That is a tragedy.
And that's forever marred that movie's release, and it's definitely not popular because of the result.
Damn.
Tragedy in many ways.
You know, it's also tragic. You said we were getting around to it. You still have yet to say the man's name. Who is this?
Hansel?
Oh, you did say Hansel. You know, it's funny. I'm very sober right now, and I completely talked about how his name is Hansel, and how the whole reason he went to Zoolander is because his name is Hansel, and that's why he died. And yet I called you out about we hadn't said his name.
I find that tragic.
Yeah, shit. Toups, who this is? Who is this lewd tart exposing her undergarments so late at night for this show? I stumped you on this one.
It's not that I don't know who it is. It's just that I'm remembering.
Oh,
the entirety of.
It's washing of the memories are washing over you.
And an audience member is pretty astute, actually, because yeah, that is my mom.
It's your mom.
Yep.
Okay. So the tragedy is she had you. Toups, who this is?
Okay, this right here is a gentleman named Dapper Dan.
Dapper Dan, okay. Full name.
Yeah, actually, back in the 1840s, this was Dapper was a fairly popular boy's name.
Okay.
Most of those people named Dapper died off in the Civil War, so thank God for that.
Dapper died.
Yeah, Dapper died.
Full on Dapper died. They full on died.
And then after that, people started naming their kids, more reasonable things, like Edwin.
Okay, and Beauregard.
Beauregard is also a good name.
And who was the dude from last night? Gaylord Perry?
Gaylord Perry.
Yeah. So this is Dapper Dan. What was the tragedy that befell this man?
Well, as you can see, this man was a sporting fellow.
He was a sporting fellow, yes, of the ball's base, the baseball.
He was one of the originators of the sport, actually.
Okay.
Dapper had...
What did he have?
This is sad.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
So, Dapper was involved in the creation of, the rules around, who counts as, what counts as catching the ball, and etc. And by involved in creating those rules, some of them were safety rules.
Okay.
And the one that he was involved in creating was actually as a result of an incident that happened where someone threw a baseball at his face.
Oh no.
Yeah, Dapper did not survive that collision, but the American Major Leagues did.
So that's where they enacted the MLB's Dapper Act.
Yep, that's exactly it.
The well-known
Dapper Act.
Yeah, the well-known Major League Baseball Dapper Act.
May not throw balls into people's faces.
Oh, okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Truly tragic. Toups. Who this is?
That's the Revenant.
How'd you guess it?
This is the like. I realize that a lot of we know that a lot of people wouldn't know have any idea who the Revenant is. It's just basically a remnant of a long forgotten period in American history where all men had beards and were very.
You know who doesn't have a long forgotten period?
What's that?
Women. They always remember their first period.
I can't tell you from experience.
Okay, so from a long forgotten period.
One of the most interesting things about the Revenant is that he had a small horse and man grafted to his nose.
Okay.
This was as you can see, it's right there.
Oh, I do see it. All right, yeah, it's quite obvious now.
Yeah, no, it was one of his defining features after he had it done when he was 34. And he went around with the Barnum and Bailey Circus for a while as a result. This is one time they're in Indianapolis. As you can see, it's kind of shitty up there.
Okay.
So, after touring with them for about 13 years, they decided to kick him out in favor of an elephant, one of the aforesaid elephants
from Greta Stampede.
From Greta, yeah.
Damn.
That one had an interesting tusk problem due to the number of people it killed. So it was shaped weird.
Shaped weird.
Yeah.
That's another tragedy unto itself.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. Toups. Finally, last one. Who this is?
Well, that is Stream. It's been there for about 1.5 million years.
Okay. Stream.
Give or take. Basically originated in the Cretaceous period after the after the shallow sea in Texas disappeared. This one right here is actually a portion of Stream that was near New Braunfels. And this particular painting was painted
New Braunfels, Texas, home of the snake farm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This particular one was painted about 1997, as
okay.
As you can see, it's the cover of some cigarette pack.
Yeah. So a very more modern piece in the New York Public Library for this one.
Yeah, it's actually kind of surprising that they've got this in there, but I think the actual tragedy of this is that Stream is partially obstructed by that annoying man.
Yeah. And we don't care who that is.
No, that guy.
He not cool.
He not cool.
Okay. That concludes this edition of Who This Is.
Now we know.
Now we know. Hooray! Next segment on a very tragic edition, both in content and participation. We move along to what is known as En Fleek, En Bleak. I shall do mine first because due to the amount of time it has elapsed since our last show, Toups is telling me he's built up a litany of En Fleek, En Bleaks that he needs to purge. I only have one each, so I shall do mine first. Unfortunately, my first En Fleek, I shouldn't say my first En Fleek. My En Fleek for this week is not funny at all. It's actually a real thing, but it is very En Fleek to me. Tim Cook put out an open letter to all Apple consumers talking about how the FBI wanted to have Apple create software that was an ultimate backdoor to any Apple device, basically a master key that allowed them to get into any Apple system whatsoever. He wrote this open letter to let everybody know that he's not with it, and FBI can go love themselves as far as that's concerned, because he's not going to make that happen.
Hypocrite.
Yes. He very smartly decided and understood that even though they said it was for one-time use on one phone, once that software is created, it will be proliferated in some fashion no matter what happens, especially in the hands of the government, who is known for being very untrustworthy and very inept. And yes, I was a soldier of the United States Army. I did work for the government, and I'm still willing to say that. You do not want to trust the government with something that powerful, especially. So that is my on fleek for this week. Thank you, Tim Cook. Thank you, Apple. And it's very sad that I come to trust companies like Google and Apple, which are privately owned, over my own fucking system of government. That sucks. Apple does not suck, though. All right. So, my on bleak for this week is gas station attendants. And I should be more specific. I should not put them all under the same umbrella. I'm speaking specifically about my local 7-Eleven / Exxon.
Okay.
Now, this is the thing. Place where I live, I've been living there about 2 years now. Down the street, there's this 7-Eleven / Exxon. For the past, almost 2 years now, I've been going there, and they've been really cool, you know? You show up, got your beer or whatever, don't give you a hard time, don't pester you for ID, they recognize you, let you bring up your stuff, no big deal, hook you up. You know, you go to buy something, and they're like, hey, did you know, if you get that, 50 cents more, you can throw and get an extra sandwich or something like that. You know, they let you know what was up. They hooked you up with it. No problem, real cool about it.
They cool.
Yeah, they cool. Not anymore, man. And this is a specific tale of on bleakness. Now, I'm a big fan of hot dogs. I've been known to go on hot dog binges. It's a diet that works. I wouldn't recommend it, but it works. Now, every once in a while, I get a craving for hot dogs, as many people are wont to do. 7-Eleven has the Big Bite, which is a quarter-pound hot dog. Now, one fine evening, I go in there, and I say, hey, let me get a Big Bite. The fellow working there says, yo, not only do you get this Big Bite for $2, go ahead and pick out a Big Gulp, because we have a special now where you get a Big Gulp along with the Big Bite. No big deal.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, he says, hey, man, you see those rows of cups? You can pick anything in the middle there, any size, whatever. It's all good. And I'm like, hey, man, good looking out. Thanks for hooking it up. So, that was about 4 months ago. I returned. This was, I guess, Monday or Tuesday. And I'm like, you know what? I'm in the mood for a hot dog. Because I like to, I walk home, a couple 5 minutes or whatever. Feels good to walk home, just munch on a hot dog on the way there. So, I step into my corner fucking 7-Eleven Exxon, and there's a little sign, promotional sign by the register. Big Bite, Big Gulp, $2, right? I go up to the register, lady's working there, and I say, hey, let me get one of them Big Bites. And I point to the sign that clearly indicates, Big Gulp, Big Bite. I'm like, hey, hook up let me get that Big Bite. She's like, okay, rings it up, right? She goes over, to the side where they keep all the shit rolling and, heated up and everything to go grab my Big Bite. And next to that stand is, where the Big Gulps are, right? With that sign, $2, Big Gulp, Big Bite.
Big Gulp, Big Bite.
Big Gulp, Big Bite. Right. Big Bite, Big Gulp, Big Bite. Right. Right. So, I head over there, and I walk over to the Big Gulps, and I'm like, hey, what size can I get? She says, oh, you only got a Big Bite. You don't get a drink. I'm like, well, there's a sign here that says Big Gulp, Big Bite, $2.
Big Gulp, Big Bite.
Right. Big Gulp, Big Bite. Right. So, I say, which one of these do I get? She says, you only said Big Bite. I said, yo, same price. Big Gulp, Big Bite. Right. She says, no. You only said Big Bite, so you can only get a Big Bite. And at this point, we've gone over this twice now. So I'm expecting some sort of customer service like, oh, I see what's up. You know what? It's just a gas station. Who cares? Go ahead and just grab the shit. Whatever.
It was Sandy, wasn't it?
Sandy Hook?
Too soon.
I don't know who it was. She was a cunt. Because it's easy, just say, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. Just grab a soda, who cares? You know what? So, what's the big deal? It's the same fucking price. So I'm like, what's the same price, you know? And she goes, well, I only rung you up for a big bite. I can't read minds. Of course you can't read minds. You would not be working here if you could read minds. And you know what? So this is what I do. I'm fuming on the inside. I'm filled with rage.
No, I can imagine.
Like, I've just stopped drinking, and like, it's been a couple days, and I'm just like, bottling up some inner issues, you know, the struggle. So I'm just like, you know what? Okay, fine. I say, just give me the bib bite then. Whatever, okay? And I'm like, you know what? Customer service is not your suit. I'm not gonna make this a big deal. I just want my hot dog, whatever. Not really supposed to fuck around with soda too much anyway.
Big bite, right?
Big bite, right. So I say, just give me my big bite. So I take my big bite, and I'm headed towards the door. This is what gets me. As I'm walking towards the door, and I've acquiesced. She's like, I can't read minds. I'm like, you're right. My bad. I fucked up. You could have done a little bit more to hook it up. No big deal, but you didn't want to do that. You want to be a dick about it. So, whatever. This is what turned for me. As I'm walking away with my unadorned hot dog, because I was so like in a huff, I didn't even take time to put on the proper mustard and condiments and shit like I should have. I'm walking away, but this is what gets me. This fucking woman, this blonde woman, she's got a nice dress on, she's got her purse, and she's walking towards the register, and as she's walking, the whole time her eyes are trained on me. And she's giving me that look like I'm fucking up. Like, who is this fucking weirdo? Like, why is he causing a fuss over a fucking hot dog? Who gives a shit?
Oh, it's a big old big bite.
Big bite, right? Right. So she's giving me the eye, and I'm like, okay, I see now, in this situation, I'm the one who looks crazy. Like, I'm the one who's in the wrong now. So I'm like, you know what I like to do in those situations? Where I'm the one, I know I'm fucking up, I kick it up a notch. I'm like, all right, fine. You gonna make me be that guy? I'll be that guy then. So I'm walking towards the door, you know, grab my backpack at the door, because as you know, you can't walk around with backpacks inside there, you have to leave it. So I turn around, back towards them, ladies behind the register, other dudes behind the register, and this blonde lady, she's still looking at me like, you, what the fuck, you mad about over some hot dog shit? So I'm just like, you know what? I held that big bite up, and I said, because I couldn't think of anything more clever at the time, I said, take a big bite of this! And I drop kicked that fucking big bite into the fucking beverages.
Oh my God.
I have a background in soccer, you understand. So I know how to volley an object with my foot. So I took that big bite and I fucking whipped that sucker right into all those juices.
Oh my God.
And the other attendant working there, he's like, what the fuck? And he starts coming around like he's gonna come like give chase. By this time, I'm already out the door looking at them through the window, and I'm just like, middle fingers, like, yeah. Because this is the thing. Right now, the way I'm feeling, I wish a nigga would. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you feel like that. Like, you're just like, you know what? Let's see where this goes. I've been to jail. I'm not scared. So, I'm standing out the window. I got my middle fingers up. He's coming around like, oh, this dude's a coward. He's going to run once he sees I'm going to give him chase. So he comes around the counter. I'm just standing there with the middle fingers up. And he starts coming around, and then he heads towards the big bite. He heads towards the mess. And I'm like, see, yeah, you ain't about it. You weren't ready for this.
He ain't in this.
So, it's going to be a while before I can go back in there and get a big bite. So that is my oblique.
Wow, that is definitely a tragedy. No more big bites.
No more big bites. Big gulp. Right?
Or both of those together.
Big gulp, big bite. Right. So now, Toups, I hand the con to you for your on fleek oblique.
Okay, so this is one I came up with the other week, but it's still relevant today because recently I got a new phone, and it is much better than my older phone, except in one respect. My older phone, it was I was able to use the Wi-Fi hotspot since I just have a month-to-month kind of plan on it, and they didn't care what I did with it, so I could just turn it on and off and do whatever I wanted, tether my phone. And when I get this one, they decided that I bought this phone outright. I'm not on a carrier plan or anything. They decided to lock it where I could not use my Wi-Fi hotspot.
Boo! That's your data.
I don't know why they have any investment in it at all, because there's no reason for them to. Because they're going to charge me more if I go over on my data anyway, so...
Yeah, they should welcome any opportunity for you to cause overages.
Yeah. So, the fact that they just decided to, just turn that little bit off, just because, that really irritates me. That is an on fleek. Or on bleak.
On bleak.
On bleak, yep.
You did it in the wrong order.
Sorry?
He can do it in any order he wants. This is our show. I appreciate the participation, though.
This is tragedy, okay?
Yeah, this is tragedy.
A tragedy episode. It means that we start off with the bad things and we end with the bad things, okay? And why are you even alive?
How are you even alive? You look very familiar.
Do you happen to be related to Andrew in any way?
I'm pulling a Tom Sawyer, attending my own funeral or whatever.
Okay.
Continue.
All right, so...
Time is of the essence.
I have additional on bleaks. The main one is that this past week I started trying to bake bread.
Started trying to bake bread.
My first couple of attempts were abject failures, and they just ended up like messes, which I kind of threw gingerly into the trash can. Because they look gross and toxic. But eventually I got to the point where I was making something that smelled like bread while I was in the oven. And I actually brought
Sounds promising.
I brought an example of my first one. That was like this.
Oh, Jesus. No.
It is hard.
As a bread man, you're making this very hard for me. What is that?
This is a weapon. I decided that this is how they, make swords and stuff.
Jesus H.
This thing right here it's tougher than my mom.
And your mom's pretty tough. She can man her ass hard on some ice.
Yeah. So you could probably shave with it. I don't know. Yeah, it's tragedy.
That is bread.
No, it's something that...
Bread that was stomped on by a pack of elephants.
It would be bread if we didn't have another word for it, and that word is shit.
Abomination.
Abomination, yeah. So then I tried another one, because obviously I can't just let it slide.
Can't give up. Must continue.
I was
relentless.
inadequate in this bread-making venture, and then I made another. And as you can see, it rose a little bit more on the inside, but...
it's hollow on the inside, like me.
Nice.
Like my soul, yeah.
Yeah, so this one's actually hollow on the inside, which gives it two cutting surfaces for all of your weapon creating needs.
Wow.
In any case, it's solid.
Yeah. Solid as a rock.
That's what happens when you get the gluten to really work for you.
That gluten didn't. That's what happens when the gluten goes on strike. When you did not meet gluten's union demands.
Listen, I started baking like a week ago.
Oh boy.
So eventually, actually yesterday the day before yesterday, I actually cooked a loaf that came out reasonably good. And I don't have it here with me because I ate that shit.
Yes. Success, there is no evidence. Yes.
Because, these definitely could not eat. They're probably hard. They're probably stronger than my teeth.
Bleak won't eat.
Won't eat. So that also includes. Basically, that includes my on fleek. Is that I was actually able to do it, and once again reaffirm my superiority over the bread. So I think that kind of wraps it up for me.
All right. Let's continue on then, too. Since this episode is themed around tragedies, we're going to discuss some things that we find tragic. So, you've heard about the Holocaust. You've heard about Tiananmen Square. You've heard about the Trail of Tears. But I present you a true tragedy. Is there nothing more tragic than when you go through the drive-thru and get those nice, fresh, hot fries, and you reach in to grab one, and it slips your grasp, and it falls in between that crack.
Oh, what?
Between the armrest and the seat. That no man's land. Just gone forever.
And you try to grab at it, and it's just like, then you shove your hand in there painfully far, but it's still not far enough, and you've just kind of touched the very tip of it, and then it falls further.
Yes. You pushed it down further.
And, wow. And then you think about it like the next day when it's hot in your car and you get inside your car and it smells like French fry.
Yes.
And then you try again.
And it taunts you.
And you can see it right through the crack because it's light outside now.
And since it's so jacked with preservatives, it never decays and goes away. It just remains.
No, it continues making that smell.
Tragic.
That is really awful.
What is an example of a tragedy for you?
Okay. So another thing which I feel like is a tragedy is like when you get to that last quarter of a condiment bottle, like mustard, especially mustard. Mustard's the worst at this, where it starts sputtering, like when you're pouring it, like when you're pouring it out of the bottle, it starts sputtering, and then it gets all over.
Like a scatter, yeah.
It's like a spray paint kind of thing going on.
Like a bird shot.
It gets all over, like your plate and everything. You're like, there's nothing you can really do about it.
It's like a Jackson Pollock condiment spray.
And then you kind of shake the bottle a little and effectually so that goes through the grip. And that works for a second, but then it stops again and then it starts just spraying everywhere. And you get it on the counter at that time or whatever was underneath, like if there's like a cat, like for example you're staying in your kitchen, there's a cat underneath your feet because that's what they do. And then they get it's now a mustard cat.
It's like a mustard leopard.
Yeah, turned directly into like a food leopard.
Food leopard.
And
you've heard of food lion. This is food leopard.
And then obviously that causes the cat to run away because like they get shit on them. So then they're running away and you're chasing after with this stupid thing of like mostly empty condiment bottle.
And all you wanted was a sandwich.
And all you wanted was just like a sandwich or, a Big Bite or whatever it is that you have. Big Bite, right. And then when you finally finish cleaning the cat off or whatever and cleaning the thing off, you go back to your thing and you realize that there's still not enough mustard on the fucking thing.
Tragic.
That's awful.
It's also awful when your co-host fails to throw it back to you for your turn of the next tragedy.
Go ahead, Mychal.
I think, for time's sake, we'll just do one more. This is a tragedy that I hold near and dear to my heart, and I have for many years now. You ever known a young lady or a woman who has a fucking badass last name, like Lotzgazelle, or Bots, or Heizenrader, and then they fall in love with some dude with a last name like Davis,
or Smith,
or Jones? There's no bigger tragedy to me than when a woman has to give up a badass last name and sacrifice for love into a fucking lame-ass last standard fucking name. It's horrendous. And I lament it every time it happens.
Yeah, that does suck.
You have a great last name like Baumgartner.
Baumgartner?
Yeah, or Bauerhust. Some international type name, And then it's just, hey, guess what, man? You're brown now.
Or like they have a name, Danger.
Danger-esque.
I've even seen people with the name Danger before, and it goes away.
Damn it.
That, like, if I was getting married to someone whose last name was Danger, I'd be like, bitch, I'm taking your name.
Yeah, I'll have that.
Like, I don't care about my family's heritage or lineage or anything of that. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Anthony Toups Danger Toups. Or no, it'd just be Anthony Toups Danger.
Danger.
Anthony Toups Danger.
And then when I get, when I'm near someone without them knowing, I would just whisper in their ear, danger close.
Like the Claymore mines.
Exactly.
Like the warning the sun knows. Front towards enemy, danger close. Get that clacker out. Clack, clack, clack. Oh, that'd be a cool last name, Clacker. Mychal Clacker.
I'm not sure what you would whisper in people's ears for that one.
Moving along. Everybody here, I know you saw last episode. We had a tragedy that occurred. This family that you see here had a member go missing. It was their Uncle Rip. He was known as Uncle Rip not because his name was Rip. It was short for Uncle Rest in Peace because he was always off doing some crazy shit that we were always surprised he did not wind up dead.
I remember about this guy.
So, Uncle Rip was kidnapped, and we desperately pled for his return.
And my understanding was that was actually might have been successful. Is that right?
It was successful. As a matter of fact, we had some covert forces, I don't know. Anyway, he was rescued. And you can see him here happily with the rest of the family.
Oh yeah, little Martha.
Yeah, Uncle Rip is there to the right. So he's with everybody now. They had a happy reunion. So Uncle Rip took some time out, playing with his niece and nephew, as you can see here. They're out at the playground.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, here you go. They're having a good time. A little bit of fun. Nice day out. Like, weather's warming up sooner than it should for this time of year,
Just getting that polyurethane smell out of them.
Yeah, so they had a nice go of it. So I know this episode is themed on tragedy, but, this is a little bit of ray of sunshine to end the show on. Wait, hold on. I hear Knockman. I think he wants to tell me something.
That probably doesn't sound good.
I'm sure it'll be all right, man. This is great. It's good to end on a high note,
Yeah.
All right, Knockman, what's up? All right, this just in. Apparently, Uncle Rip got a little bit too excited about his newfound freedom. Decided he was going to go on a bender and party really hard.
Oh, my God.
And he has drank himself to death. As you can see here, he is surrounded by alcohol bottles and containers, and he is upside down, which obviously indicates the depth of a bowl. So, Uncle Rip...
I mean, his family warned him about his friends.
The one ray of sunshine we had for the show. Late breaking news, just tragic all around.
Thanks, buddy.
But man, sorry, that's just how it goes sometimes.
You don't have to help out every time. Yeah, you would just walk away.
All right. It is time for the raffle. So I'm waiting to see how long it sinks in before people catch on that it's time for the raffle.
The raffle.
Because surprisingly, we have quite a few people who are in the run for it. So, can I get some sort of indicator that the raffle participants are waiting to hear the results?
I think that might qualify.
All right. Giving away a couple things here. So, first number is number 276. 276. If you have number 276, please approach so you may claim your prize. 276. You have until the count of 5
Winner over there.
before I pick a different number.
She's in right here.
1,000. 2, 1,000. 5. You're too late. You win nothing. Good day, sir. 4-year-old Twinkies. All right. No. Come back. There's a prize.
He was being unnecessarily mean.
Yes. I like to fuck with people before they get their proper prize. You have won a Forrest Gump box of chocolates. Congratulations. What is your name, ma'am? She's just like, give me the goods, I'm out. Just let her in the mic.
It's my girlfriend's birthday.
Your girlfriend? Oh, we don't do that here. This is a Christian show, ma'am. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Natalie, congratulations. All right.
We lost our Trump sponsorship. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, you're right. True. We don't have Trump anymore. Fuck it. You're all good with us. Congratulations. All right. Next number. Ticket. And I have a good idea what group the winner is going to be from for this. Number 273. Will they make it in a speedier fashion than the last winner? Number 273. Please approach.
Hey, what's your name?
What is your name, ma'am?
It's Jackie.
Jackie. Are you a homosexual?
You wish. No. No, I am engaged to a wonderful man right over there.
Oh, that's too bad because the prize was Toups' virginity.
This is very sad. That's actually a tragedy.
That is tragic.
We can totally find you someone. There's still hope.
All right, here's the actual prize. I don't know if you were paying attention to the beginning of the show. We talked about the amoral, what was it? The Wealthy Amoral Taster Society.
Yes.
Which is a group of rich tycoons
who just basically eat rare meats and other things.
Rare taboo creatures.
Such as unicorn.
So you have won a drawing on canvas from the Wealthy Amoral Taster Society. This month, they ate Minotaur sweetbreads.
Nice.
So this drawing depicts the head of a Minotaur on a plate,
I like it.
prepared to be served.
Do you know that sweetbreads actually means balls?
Oh, it's balls, it's not brains.
I think so, yeah. I think sweetbreads is actually balls, not brains. At least I thought. I'll look it up.
Okay, come back some other week with that information.
Right now.
No, we need people to come back. We need butts and seats.
Yeah, I'll come back next week. I'll come back next week. I'll come back next week.
Congratulations on your win.
Thank you. Have a
That was a cool prize.
That was a cool prize. I wish I won it.
I'm surprised the Amoral Taster Society would give something like that away.
I know, right? Well, they're so rich. I mean, it's but a pittance to them.
Yeah, but they only got that rich because they're just misers.
Because they're just misers?
Right.
Oh, okay. I don't know much about that rich people shit. That's not my world. I'm just here to, have my pizza and my Coke.
That is just weird.
It's tasty, though. It's a craze that's sweeping the nation.
I've been trying to not comment on that particular tragedy.
This is like some ghetto au jus type thing happening right here.
Like, that's just disturbing. Like,
Good evening, miss.
How do you explain that? Like, what made you do that?
How do I mansplain this? How dare you?
No, just explain it in general. I don't care if you mansplain it.
What? It's like it's so obvious. I don't know how to explain it to you. I mean,
like, what kind of trauma got you to get this?
It's the sweet and the savory,
No.
You don't? Well, look. It started one night on Skype chat. You get to talking. I love to have pizza. You know what I like with the pizza? Nice Coke. So, when it goes in, it all goes down the same place. Why not just, get right to it? I don't have the answer, Sway.
Okay, well.
Let's move on.
All right.
So, once again, we are presenting another certificate for outstanding attendance. We have people that show up on a regular basis to this show. So, it's my honor to present once again. She is not here, so Michelle, you have won your certificate of outstanding attendance.
I hope you watch this, Michelle. Because I did it again.
Okay, so that's that part.
Well, she should have shown up.
Okay, we got 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
So what's something that I usually fail to do for these shows?
You fail to plug it.
I fail to plug it. So I'm going to plug the show right now. This show is called
Fantastic Tangent.
It happens live every
1 week on Thursday.
It happens every 1 week. Every 1 week.
1 week. 1 week.
Yes.
Yes. So you can go on Ustream, do a search for Mister Tramps, so you can go to Mister Tramps' website directly, catch the show streaming online. You can also show up nice and late when we get racy and raunchy, and we say a lot of dirty words. Like butt, yeah.
That'll probably be censored in the live stream, so just talk to us later live if you need to actually know what that says.
I hope the kids are in bed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Facebook. Full on. Wait, I said it. I started to fuck it up right off the gun.
You did.
On Facebook, we have a public group. It's known as Fantastic Tangents Full On Dap Society because I'm a huge advocate of full on dap instead of the lazy fist bump. Allow us to demonstrate full on dap. Anybody at the bar paying attention to this? If you only remember one thing from this night, from this entire show, I want you to remember, it is lazy to merely give your friends a simple fist bump.
You must do the full-on dap.
If you're truly their friend, you'll give them full-on dap. Are you aware of what full-on dap is? This is full-on dap. You will recognize it immediately. Boom. So if anybody offers you a mere fist bump,
reject it.
Reject it. They don't love you. Full-on dap. Spread the word.
And so, why would we care about this Facebook group?
We care about this Facebook group because it will give you announcements about when the show's coming up. Be posting links to the videos later of the show. I don't know. That's a good question. You can call me out for not doing enough with the group, I suppose.
We'll post snarky comments about this later.
Yes. You're more than welcome to post comments. I love to interact with the people. Anything you say might be used in the show in some capacity. I like to incorporate that. I love that sort of stuff. I do not fear the silence.
I'm just here, man.
You're just here so you won't get fined?
I'm here so I won't get fined.
Very well. Very well. Speaking of which, that was a quote from Marshawn Lynch, who's an NFL player. We have 2 minutes, 2-minute warning. Can we get through highlights from the last episode?
Recap.
We shall recap from last week. The lost episode, brought to you by the Rehabilitation Institute of Chicago, leading head trauma clinic. Why head trauma clinic? Because we're doing the NFL dishonors. Or I should say we did the NFL dishonors.
So, what were the highlights for the NFL dishonors, man?
Couple quick things for the NFL dishonors that we went over. Oh no, I don't have the notes. I'm going to have to wing it. We're doing it live. Here you see Darrell Williams. What is his dishonor? He has the highest amounts in NFL history for fines. He had only 3 fines.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound bad.
He was suspended for 20 games.
That's a lot.
Can you take a guess as to how much this man was fined for 3 fines?
$3,585,706.
How in the world did you manage to guess that? It turns out a second bust for drug charges in the NFL will get you $3 million and a nice suspension for the rest of the season.
Okay, we got 45 seconds.
Next man, I think this is JT O'Sullivan. This man has the honor of getting the Journeyman Award. Over 11 years, stats. He played for 11 pro NFL teams.
He did not, they did not want him, did they?
You know why? Over an 11-year NFL career, he only threw 9 touchdowns, and he got 13 interceptions.
Is that what you call a career?
That is technically a career. It's a career that winds you up in minor league football. So, last few seconds, Lifetime Achievement Award, the Nicole Brown Simpson Award. O.J. Simpson, our Lifetime Achievement for the NFL Dishonors. We have no more time. This has been Fantastic Tangent Season 2's Episode 3. Thank you for your time and attention. On behalf of Anthony Toups and myself, I say to you, thanks, Alfredo.